I love how curious this kitty is. Wondering what's in there? I bet you the folks on YouTube are curious as well. And we're going to get to that in just a minute. A year and a half ago, my father called me with a panic in his voice I had never heard before. He told me he was dying and that he was going to die unless he could get a lot of money. He was in the Dominican Republic. He was actively having a heart attack and they were not going to treat him unless we paid for the surgery up front. I asked this community and my patrons for help and y'all delivered. There's no material thing I can ever do or will ever get that will come to that level of thanks and appreciation that I feel to this community. With that said, as material items go, this is the nicest thing that my patrons have done for me. I don't often talk about my Patreon. Not that I'm not grateful, I'm extremely grateful, but because I don't want it to come across as, I don't want it to be seen as I'm trying to ask more people to support me. I am so lucky in life. I started the channel because I wanted to encourage people to try their own big things, whatever that happened to be. But just the same, many amazing, wonderful people have joined my Patreon. And what I've been doing is saving up the money, and I buy things periodically for the project. All of the Patreon money that I've gotten to this point has gone into things for the boat, for the project. I was saving up for a weather station, and for reasons I talk about in another video, I've come to realize I'm not getting the boat in the water this year. So I put a message out to the Patreons asking if they would be okay if I bought this instead. Specifically, I needed 4 of these, and I could not find them anywhere. I could find similar ones, but nothing that would match. These are the screens for the Dorades in my boat. And as many of you who've been watching the channel for a while know, I'm trying my best to keep the boat as original as possible. So I wanted to get this style of a white ring with your standard mesh inside. I asked on the CNC Landfall group if anyone knew where I could get them. And the most common answer I got was, just print your own. Can you see where this is going? So with the overwhelming encouragement with the patrons, I got a 3D printer. I have no idea how to use it. But when I started thinking about that screen and so many other things I need for the boat that I just can't find anymore, a 3D printer started making more and more sense. Now, obviously, there's no way I'm going to be able to fit this on the boat when I move on to the boat. So I will be putting it up for sale when that time comes. Obviously, the patrons will get first dibs on that. You are so goddamn adorable. Yeah, I was talking about you. But between now and then, I have a whole lot of parts I can make. I have a whole lot of learning I need to do. And as is tradition with this channel, I'll take you along as I learn. So, all of the mushy stuff said, let's open this. So, while we open this, let me talk about which one this is and why I chose it, because it was not without internal debate and slight controversy. There are 2 major choices that I felt like I had to choose between. There was the Prusa and there was the Bambu Labs. The Prusa Core and the Bambu Labs X1C were my shortlist. Everything I read about the Prusa made my nerd gland tickle. I wanted the Prusa. I ended up buying the Carbon X1C. Why? The biggest reason was, am I getting into 3D printing as a hobby, or do I need a tool to make parts for the boat and the batteries and whatnot? I understand the firmware controversy that came with the Bambu Labs. I am not happy about it at all. My heart is entirely with Prusa's approach to hardware. And if I was getting into this as a hobby, it would have been a no-brainer. The Prusa Core all day long. But I needed a tool. And I started thinking, the earliest videos I made for this channel, I was using Blender on Linux. And it worked, but it wasn't very good. And I ended up buying, for the first time in my life, an Apple product. I bought a MacBook Pro specifically to do video editing because I needed a tool that just worked. I see this thing the same way. I need a tool that's just going to work. Now, is it actually easier to use? I don't know. I have no clue how to use this rather expensive set of boxes in front of me. But that was the impression I got, and that's why I made the choice I did. I also got the AMS2 Pro. It was a kit that they had on sale, so I was able to get that, and I bought some spares and some filament. Okay, so that's why I made the choice. Not entirely happy with Bambu as a company, but I made my choices for the reasons I did, for better, for worse. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't see that, but that fell right on top of Kepler, and he was not impressed. Foam. You know, it's funny, if you are anywhere where there's a bunch of sysadmins and you ask 5 of them, what do you hate the most? 10 of them will tell you printers. So as an IT person, it feels really weird to be excited about getting a printer. I'm saving all of this because, like I said, I know I'm going to be reselling this, and I'll be able to put it back into the boxes and ship it to whoever ends up buying it from me when the time comes. Though I'm very stoked about the things I'm going to be able to make with this. And this is going to be a fantastic excuse for me to learn FreeCAD better, which is something I've been wanting to do for a while anyway. That was no small part of why I decided I wanted to get this. Okay, is that safe to actually lift it by the bag? Is it taped down below? There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. This is a toy. This is a toy. For that same reason, as I use this thing, I am going to be treating it as somebody else's printer that I'm borrowing, which means I will not be stress testing it or abusing it in any way. Now, one of the other things I need to do is RTFM, because I have not done that yet. And I don't know if there's anything I need to do. I know with a lot of commercial printers, when you buy them, inside there's foam supports and stuff that all have to be taken apart. Bambu Labs 3D printer quick start. Okay, I definitely want to read that. Well, that's interesting. There's this tape, but it's double back sticky tape for some reason. Okay, you know what? I'm going to be the anti-geek and actually RTFM. Now, I know this thing has a poop chute, so I'm going to have to figure out something for the back of that. Whenever it switches filament, it has to get the last of the old color out of the melt nozzle, and it kicks it out the back. And yeah, it looks like the 3D printer is going poop. I'll turn off the camera and I'll bring you back once I've read this, because this is already not going to be the most exciting YouTube channel. And you guys watching me read the quick start guide is, it's a bit too far even for me. I'll be right back. Okay. It actually looks like it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't say anything about why that's double-sided tape, but well, take it off and see. I cannot believe that I have this thing. You had asked me even 6 months ago if I would ever buy a 3D printer. I would have said, no, why would I? I'm gonna live on a boat. Anyway, I'm wondering what this thing is. Am I gonna have to make you a Batman hat? There are so many silly things I can make with this as well. I've got an idea of making clips that will help secure the wires to the bulkhead and keep them nicely organized. Do I have to take this door off? If I wasn't planning to resell this, I would just be cutting this off. Okay, there we go. Oh, now the sticky part is stuck to the glass. There we go. I can't get this out until I get this top door open. When I was looking into the different printers, I didn't realize that the same company, the founders of DJI, were also the founders of Bambu. I saw a video, I'll see if I can find it. If I can, I'll link it below. There was a 3D printing YouTube channel reviewer. He was talking about 3D printing, open source, and whatnot. And he was talking about how they've commercialized the 3D making space. Back when I first looked into 3D printing over a decade ago. Oh, okay, that's easy. It was entirely open source. You used a 3D printer to make a 3D printer. And that was fine. But I also didn't stick with it because it was a steep learning curve. He was talking about how the commercialization of 3D printers has helped make them much more accessible to non-technical people. Basically weighing the difference in the pros and cons of the open source ethos that built the 3D printer in the first place. You could argue there wouldn't be a 3D printing community if it hadn't started off as open source, versus the accessibility of commercialization, and talking about how the commercialization was probably always inevitable. Do I agree with that? I don't know. I have a lot to learn, but at least I understand the argument. What is this? Ensure that the build plate is on the heat bed and matches the corresponding build plate settings in Bambu Studio. Wash the build plate regularly with hot water and detergent for best adhesion. You know, I'm going to put that on the side of the printer to remind myself. They talk about cutting these zip ties. I have to take this out. There's foam down here and there's some Allen screws. I think that's what these arrows are pointing to do too. And I think there was, yeah, 3 of them. Those will unlock the bed. Little things like putting those red tags on the places you're supposed to cut and deal with when you first start up the printer is the kind of thing I was talking about with more accessible. I should have cut that on the other side. Little touches like that. Though it would have been really fun from a nerd perspective to build the Prusa printer from scratch. Oh well, tool versus hobby. That's the screen. Which way's up? Press the terminal down and insert the cable. This is fiddly. Okay, I think that's on. And then to install it, just literally push in and slide over. That's done. All right, so there's this loop of hose, which goes to a feeder in the back. Normally, if you didn't get the AMS, you'd put the spool, there's like a tab here for holding the spool of filament that you're printing, and it goes in here, comes through and down to the print head. Because I have the AMS, the Advanced Material, Automatic Material System, whatever that is, I don't think I'll be using that because I have a thing on the top that I can put 4 filaments into. And one of the big reasons I wanted that is apparently humidity is a big issue with the filament and print quality. So that has automatic heaters, dehumidifiers, whatever it needs to do to prep the filament for the best print. And this is green PLA, looks like a starter kit. Yeah, it's only 200 gram. You're supposed to get 1 kilogram when you buy the, so this is literally just a starter. This here is the spool holder. There's a spares kit and it comes with a spare, the lighting is harsh, but it's a 0.4 millimeter hot end. Where's the Allen keys they said were gonna be in here? They're in that bag. Okay, this is a spring of some sort. Looks like a light bulb, like an old incandescent light bulb filament. It's supposed to have a cleaning tip. And I wonder if that's what that is. Let's get those locks off. I'm assuming it's your usual lefty-loosey. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't intimidated. Okay, there's 1 screw. Often when I buy new tools, I worry that I'm not going to use them enough to justify them. And this feels like such a big thing to learn. Okay, this back one is really awkward to get to. All right, now the bed should be unlocked. Okay, this is a magnetic plate. So I can take that off for now. Okay, how do I, it's unlocked, but how do I actually lift it to get the foam out? Maybe when I power it on, it'll do something? I don't think it said in the manual. Remove the screw as pictured with an Allen key H2. These are the tensioners for increasing or decreasing the tension on the belt. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take that off if I don't plan to use the spool holder, but in case it jams something. Okay, that's weird. As I back it off, the whole panel is bulging out. Yeah, that's weird. I'm surprised on such a polished product. Oh, there's no screw here. That was the only screw. Okay, well, it's out for now. That is a really short screw. I can't see this being anything other than holding that in. See where that yellow caution thing is? That's on the other side of that screw I took out. I'll leave the screw out for now until I see how things move, and then I'll put it back if I don't think I actually need to have it out, because I don't like how that's bulging out. That's disappointing. Okay. Continuing. Oh, that flexible cable could have come out a lot longer than I, like, that flexible cable that the screen plugged into, I could have pulled that out 5 centimeters, 2 inches. Okay, that seems to be all there is for the hardware side of thing. Before I do anything with the AMS, let's just power it on and see what happens. There's no tape there. I think I got all the tape off. I think I'm ready to plug it in. I think. This is a really short power cable. I think it is literally just barely long enough to reach the power bar. Okay, yeah, it just barely reaches. Okay, let us power it on. Oh, do I have to flip the switch in the back? Yes, I have to flip the switch in the back. Okay, it is making noises. Select language, English. Select the region you are located. North America next. My Wi-Fi. Confirm. Click back to set network now or skip to log in. Oh, I have to log into my Bambu account. One of the things that was definitely a strong argument for the Prusa was that it could technically do offline printing. Now, watching some of the reviews, there's some features that no, you actually still need to be logged in for. Scan the QR code to log into the printer. This is much more cloud connected, which is normally something I am not a fan of. But again, I'm doing this from the perspective of this being a tool. Okay, now I need to log in. Select your 3D printing skill. For now, I am going to say beginner. Please select a printer. X1C. Next. Improve your feed. Select up to 5 preferred categories. Oh, gosh. Household? Okay, there we go. Now I need to devices. Bind printer. Okay, are you not going to... This is annoying. I just scanned it to get the app, so I know the scanner's working. Please scan the QR code on the printer screen. I'm trying. Turn off the studio lights. Okay, I can do Bluetooth. I think that's it. Confirm binding printer 3DP00M975 with the current account. The way it says bind... Oh, there it goes. The way it says bind makes me worry that I can't trade it to some... No, that can't be the case. That'd be very Cisco of them. Mermaids... Rust. Let's just call it P1. There we go. So the printer needs to calibrate for the current environment. Please ensure the heat bed is unlocked before starting calibration. So I've taken the 3 screws out. Calibrate may take several minutes. There we go. That moved free. Honing tool head. Should I put this back in? There's nothing to print, so it's going to be okay without that. No, the head's touching. I don't know, I missed it, but this here went until it touched the tip and then bounced. I'm sure that's normal. Definitely making stepper noises. And see the progress on the screen here. Oh, they've gamified learning. You can earn points by going through the beginner stuff. I don't know if it's going to do anything interesting. It's doing a lot of shimmying and shammying. You were making some fun noises there. I forgot, I bought anti-vibration feet. I'll put that on after. I will say, it is nice having the status on your phone, which I understand kind of has to be a cloud thing. I got extra grease and an extra filament cutter. Silicone sock for the hot end. I don't know what that is, but it looked like something I should have. Spare nozzle wiper. I think the silicone head helps hold the heat in. And 2 PTFE tube connectors. Activated carbon filter. That I think is for when I'm printing ABS. That goes into the AMS too. This is switching adapter. 96 watt, 24 volt. May is very curious. I think I might have needed that for the AMS too. What's that, huh? It's making lots of funny noises. Oh, I can print you kitty toys. Filament buffer. That was, I think, is useful on the AMS2 as well. Spare desiccant for the AMS2. Ah, these are the bottom plates. I don't really know how they work yet, but apparently different plates give you different finishes. Okay, I only got 1 plate. This is the Bambu smooth plate. Sorry, hun. You're really, you're really sketched out. Look at how puffed that tail is. It's okay, hun. You're okay. She does not like it. Calibration complete. I'll be back in a bit. So as you can tell by the wardrobe change, I didn't get back to this last night. When I turned off the camera, I realized it was like 2 a.m. and I should probably go to sleep. So today I was looking at the app and it wants me to start printing stuff as part of the beginner thingamajig. But to do that, it assumes that I've already got the spool set up, which I don't because I have the AMS too, and I want to get that set up first. All right. Remove the tape and the outer packaging of the desiccant. Ah, okay. So this is the desiccant, which I have extras of, but a desiccant doesn't do you any good if it's in an airtight bag. The whole idea is that it takes the moisture in the air and it gets absorbed by these pellets. But it also means those pellets have a finite life. They can only absorb so much. All right, how does this work? Why don't I just RTFM? That seems like a great idea. So that's where the filaments go in. These are the tubes that come out, and it is just one tube. So it must cut and switch the filament automatically before it even goes to the printer. Now, because the filament, especially when you're using the fiber reinforced, it goes through this plastic, it does wear out over time. How long does it last? I don't know. So this must be motorized for pulling the filament down and pushing it through. I wonder if it cuts. Well, I'll figure that out, but at some point it has to cut to be able to switch which one is going out. And I know I bought a spare cutter. Okay, so these are the replacement PTFE tubes for in here. That's good. Okay, so there's the power adapter plug, and then there's two of the bus cable connections there. So that's the 6-pin bus connector, but there's two plugs in the back, so I can't just plug it in. I don't know which one it goes to. So then why does it have the external power adapter? Is it so that it can dry faster? I'll find out in a minute. Ah, okay, so I have to open two two desiccants and stuff them in here. So that's one. There's got to be a humidity sensor in here, otherwise how would it work? So I'm assuming it's got some sort of software that can tell you, hey, I've been trying to dry it, it isn't drying, maybe it's time to change the desiccant. That's just speculation on my part. Okay. Does it go in better upside down? It seems to go in better when the fold is down. Ah, and there's the filament buffer that I was talking about that I got. Remember hearing that it was supposed to be useful with this. It came in a kit. Yes, filament buffer. Oh, the buffer actually has circuitry in it. And there's a spring there. So the filament goes through it. Do not connect to power until assembly is complete. Okay, noted. Let's turn the printer around. Oh yeah, and I have the anti-vibration legs. Actually, let's put the feet on first. Razor blades are one of these things that I've put everywhere so that I find some as I lose others. Oh wait, nope, this is a, that's a lot of desiccant. Fistful of dollars and a box full of desiccant. This is a 4-pin cable. When I was looking to buy things, I did read, and I had a reason for buying most of this stuff. I just have ADHD brain and I can't remember why I bought half of what I did. Now, is this going to use the Allen keys they already gave me? That would be very convenient if it did. And they do. Nice. So this goes in like that. Okay, so that's the buffer installed. Right, put the feet on first. I'm very much having squirrel moments. Okay, I'm gonna pause the camera and try to figure out how to put these feet on, and then I'll come back. Before I get much further, let me put this screw I took off yesterday back on. I know it's a silly thing, but that bulging really drives me nuts. So that's back in. Main camera, welcome back halfway through the process. I think it's getting very close to be time for a new camera. So I found a channel called Try Not to Break Anything, who had a video on changing the feet. One of the things they mentioned was take the top off first, which makes sense because it's not hinged, it just physically sits there. So if you turn the printer over and you don't take the top off, you're gonna have tempered glass all over your floor. Then you just peel the feet out. Now the feet is just stuck on with double-sided tape. When he was looking at his feet, both sides looked to be like this, and he was worried that it didn't feel like it was a good positive fit, and he was worried that they could come out easier. Apparently Bambu Labs heard that because these have these fins on them that are going to line up with these pie charts. It reminds me of Trivial Pursuit. Anyways, there's another old person thing. You just push it in until it seats in. That's it. Now, one of the concerns he mentioned is you kind of have to lift the printer up and put it back down again. You can't push it because the feet are just going to fold over and pop out. And that's probably why you have extras, because they expect some of these to fall off and get lost. Which is probably why there was 2 sets for $10. So that means that if I turn it around for the AMS install, I have to pick up, turn it, and place it back down again. Definitely more isolated now. Okay, let's get back to the AMS install. Man, if this is this much work, I can only imagine how much work it would be to get the Prusa going. A nerd part of me is very sad that I'm not doing that. Oh well, choices were made. PTEFT release button. Okay, so this comes like this to the buffer. I think it goes like that to the buffer. Push it in. That would be why a single tube came. It was for the buffer to go from the buffer to the inside of this. PTFE tube connector, 2 of them. So it's expecting a PTFE adapter here. That's the tube that leads to the print head. There's this tube that I'm assuming goes into the output of the buffer. I hope that's coming through clearer than I can see on the little display, but I'm trying to run this through the spring. I'm really not impressed with, considering this is supposed to be the easier to use, the instructions are not great. It seems really messy. Oh, there's 3 in a box, and I've got a blue and a black. Does it matter which one goes to which? Oh, it actually shows you that it's blue on the outside, on the outside of the hose, and black on the inside of the hose. Is that really supposed to go like that, or am I supposed to cut this shorter? It seems like a lot of unnecessary length. Same thing here. I imagine I could have cut this shorter. Okay, don't premature optimization. That's how you end up with parts that don't work. So where I complained a moment ago about how I wasn't too terribly keen on the lack of documentation or manuals, I will give them points for being generous with their spares. 4 extra feet, 5 connectors, like I'm set for a while. Now I need to do the power stuff. 24 volt power supply. Okay, so that's gonna go to there. I'm not gonna plug it into the wall yet. I'm just getting all the wires ready. All right, now the next one is 6-pin comes from here to here. The 4-pin comes from here to here. Okay, so that's why I have a 6-pin and a 4-pin. I do not like how messy these cables are being. The AMS has 2 6-pins, and it shows it being plugged into the right one. Does it matter? I don't know. I probably don't care if the PTF cable runs beside low voltage 24 volt cable. I don't think anything's gonna get hot enough to be an issue, but I will check that later. What is next? Oh, right, I need to find the 4-pin cable. Now, one end is an L connector, and the other one's a straight connector. The L connector goes in here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. I think the AMS is now set up. Either 6-pin port of the AMS2. Okay, so the documentation said it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm ready to turn this around now. I'm gonna unplug this, turn it around, and then plug that back in. Oh, she's getting heavy now. Okay, there we go. So the boots seem to be going more or less straight up and down now. So now I've got some room to get a poop chute back here, which might be something I have to print. Let's plug this in. I'll worry about cleaning up the cable after. So that's all together. Let's plug in the printer and then plug in the AMS in that order. That power cable could really have used to be an extra ½ meter, a meter long. Okay, turn the printer back on. Oh, right, I have to turn the printer back on. Okay, this just powered up. I see the lights doing a funky dance. Let's plug in the other 120 volt. Here we go. One of the things I saw, one of the comments of Try Not to Break Anything's video was you have to run a calibration again after the feet have changed. So I'm gonna trust that comment is accurate and see if I can figure out. Oh, now it sees the EMS, or the AMS2, and it sees the humidity. User, I've got to figure out how to set my name. I don't have an SD card in there yet. I updated the firmware yesterday. Let's see. So it sees the AMS, it sees that it's 25 degrees, chamber is 28, yeah, it's warm in here. There's the AMS with the humidity. I'll worry about the calibration after I finish going through the setup manual. Power on the printer and place a spool of filament in. Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna load all PLA for now. Okay, so I've got a roll of PLA black. Oh, this is PLA. Okay, so I got PLA black, PLA white, and a small bit of PLA green. Danger cam on a tripod. I can't zoom or anything on that. Hopefully it's not too washed out. Where is the end of the filament? Ah, there it is. It's taped onto the side. How do I do this? All y'all who are used to 3D printers are probably having a laugh right now. Barely see it, but there's a little tab here you push, like a funnel. Okay, it knew that there's a spool there. Okay, let's do the white now. Yeah! Now it's backing off. I think May's anxiety around this is getting to me. So I'm jumpy now too. Oh shit! PLA mat. Wait a second, did I get 2 PLA mats or did I? Okay, well I don't need to mount this. Then why did I just open it? I thought I ordered black, white, and green and I got black, black, and white. Did I make a mistake or did they send me the wrong one? I'll have to check my order. I am going to have to swap these out and then figure out how to put this back into an airtight package. But knowing I've got 2 blacks now, I'll print most things in black at first and try to burn it up. How did this work? Twist it to open it. Oh, balls. Ah! It wants to completely come apart. Of course it does. I need to do something so this doesn't spool apart on me. Zip ties, zip ties. Yes, I will use zip ties. Found the zip ties, disaster averted. How do I store open stuff so that it doesn't go bad? Can I put it in the freezer? If I put it in a Ziploc bag and throw one of the things that desiccated in there, it should be fine. Okay, they had instructions on how to do this. Okay, there's a tab somewhere on here. Ah, there's the notch, I see it. Align it with the notch on the inner ring. There's the notch. That notch goes to that tab. And then align the triangles on the rim. Oh, okay, I see. Okay. All right, now it's locked together. And now I can take these wraps off. How do I, please do not remove before assembling. Okay, I've assembled it, but now how do I get them out? Do I just leave them there? Maybe I just have to break them or open them up and that's that? I'll put that in. Push. And there it goes. I really don't like that those plastic tabs are still there, but I can't pull them out. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it. Now let's do this green one. You know, for such an expensive printer, you think they could give you a full roll, but then I have never seen a printer that comes with a full ink or toner cartridge, so why should the 3D printing industry be any different? Okay. Close that. Is it supposed to make a better seal? There it goes. Just had to fiddle with it. Her Highness is here and Her Highness is displeased. You don't like this thing, do you? Maybe when you see that it makes you toys, you'll be more forgiving of it. I'm gonna start the calibration. I don't think it actually prints anything. That'll give me some time to clean up around here, and I will bring you back, and we'll actually do our first print finally. Hopefully, maybe. And it's recording when I thought it wasn't. This camera is getting really flaky. Anyways, what I ended up doing is putting it back in one of the plastic bags with a bunch of the desiccants and just wrapping the hell out of it in silica, or wrapping the hell out of it with saran wrap, and I'm gonna throw it in the freezer because the freezer is 0% humidity. I went and had a little lay down and I watched those instruction videos. Oh, one thing it did say was, these are supposed indeed to pull out. Why was, you saw me pull on that! Yeah, these, okay, so some of them are coming out. And some of them are not. Okay, whatever. Can I get another one off? Okay, I got 2 off. So I got the phone screen recording going, and I have to do my first print now. So I was looking for a few things to print. It seems like there's this little weird shaped boat that seems to be the first thing you're supposed to print. So let's see if we can print that. See the little print file thing there? Oh, and it already knows black, white, and green. It knows that from the RFIDs. You can get third-party filaments. You just have to set the filament type and color manually, and it showed you how to do that. I got the original Bambu. Hello? I got the Bambu filament, so the RFID tag tells it all that information. Initiated print. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna print Benchy. Okay, so prepare to print. Next. Before printing, please place the build plate and confirm the plate type. Okay, I have the PEI one, but I have to choose the color. It's going to use 12 grams of filament. It's going to take 46 minutes. PLA, bed leveling, flow calibrate. Oh, I can do time lapse. Okay, so I'm going to do that. How do I choose which color I want to use? PLA, oh, it's going to use PLA white. Okay, let's do PLA black. Confirm, because I have lots of black. And start print. Insert SD card for time-lapse function. Oh, okay. Got a 64 gig SD card that I stole from a Raspberry Pi. Put that in. Print calibration toolbox. SD card, there it is. Format the external card. Yep, format it. I don't know what I was using that Raspberry Pi for, but whatever it was, I could make a new one. Okay. Now it sees 59 gigs. I come back to the home, and now I should be able to do a start with a time lapse. Sending print job. Calibration workflow. Benchy. Downloaded. Heat bed preheating. My first ever 3D print. Okay, it says it's going to take about 40 some minutes like you saw. So I've got the time lapse. So if it worked, you're going to see it right now. She's done. Let's see how it looks. How hot is that? It's not too hot. Whoa. Apparently, you just kind of fold it and it pops off. Damn, that's good quality. I haven't got it off yet, but that's, oh, I don't know if you're able to see that. I shouldn't have printed black in my first print. Okay, how do I get this off? There we go. Now you're supposed to clean this fairly often. Actually, first. Let's take a good look at this. My first ever print. Oh, there's even a steering wheel in it. Here, let's get you right in front of the studio light. That's the 0.4, and oh, I hope this is coming through. I really shouldn't have printed in black. You see a little wheel in there and everything. It's so cute. This didn't exist until I created it. Little hose holes, hose pipes. They were neat. Okay, I need to find the scraper. Oh, there it is, right here. 4 scraper, but there's 2 screws and a little package. 3 screws in a little package. I do like this. All of their bags had a little sticker on it that says what the parts are for. Oh, that feels like it's going to cut the surface. I don't want to do that. Oh, okay. I know you can't see what I'm doing here, but sweet. Okay, so that was the scraper, and that worked. While I was waiting for that to print, I found a, oh yeah, I was eating ice cream. Now it's melting. Not sponsored. Chapman's Dark Cherry. Delicious. Now there was I took some cell phone footage. It says there's a problem, but it seems to be continuing with the print anyway. But it was complaining about filament exposure material failed because laser reflection is too weak on this material. When I took a picture of the QR code, it took me to a wiki article saying that could happen with black filament because it's just not enough contrast for the laser to know where to focus or the camera to know where to focus. So I wasn't too concerned about that. Let's print something else. How do I find the ones I favorited? Likes. Here we go. Got some mermaid stuff I want to print. But the very first thing I want to do is print my first multicolor poop shoot. So I'm going to say prepare to print. Let's go to a multicolor profile. It knows it's to the X1 carbon, so I say next, match my filament. No, I don't care about matching my filament. I'm going to change that to black with a little white for the logo. Oh wait, no, I want to flip that around. Black, white for the logo, because I want to use majority black. There we go. And start. Now I'm curious how long it was going to take, because a good 10 minutes of it was heating up the bed and prepping everything before. How do I see what that print job is going to take? It probably showed me before I started it and I didn't notice. 12 hours and 44 minutes? I guess I'll see it tomorrow. Wow. Why is it going to take so? Does it have to do the poop shoot like thing to change every time it tries to change colors? Because if it does, that's going to waste a lot. Well, I guess I'll see in the morning how much garbage is behind the printer. 12 and a half hours. Whoa. I'd be really curious to see how much quicker this would have been in just one color. As soon as the printing started, she had to come and see what was going on. Hey, hon. Doesn't seem to be scaring you as much now. Oh, big yawn. But she's definitely fascinated about it. Okay, good night. I was surprised. That actually didn't keep me awake last night. Insomnia did, but not the printer. So, it finished. That actually came out really good. If I knew what I was doing, I would have changed that to be like Mermaid's Rest logo. Now that's interesting. What's this for? Oh, that was the supports. It just fell off. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to wash this because I've touched it with my hands. I'm assuming there's a tool somewhere that I'm supposed to have because there's screws. So I'm assuming this mounts into something, but, well, I haven't found it at the moment. Okay, it says to use soapy water, so I'm gonna put that with the dishes. Now, I was wondering about how much it would waste, and I threw a little cardboard box back here. I emptied this before I went to bed, and it's full again. How much was that by weight? I don't like waste, so I think I'll avoid color unless I have a good reason for it or I'm doing a finished print, because every time it had to change the color, it went over to the poop chute, squeezed out the last of the color from the previous color, and then switched. And if he was doing just a few lines, it would switch back and forth fairly often, which is also partly why it took so long. So it used some white, but not very much, and you can see the difference. When I placed this down, it wasn't smoothly on the rollers, and it was working for a while, but eventually the filament got pulled in between these and the tension went too high, and this thing stopped. I realized my mistake, put it on the rollers, and told it to continue, but it wouldn't continue. It said that the spring was caught and to release it, but it didn't say how to release it. So I ended up just sticking my finger in here until eventually it popped free, and then the printing resumed, and I had no more issues during the night. Now this here I'm not too terribly keen on. Oh, okay, it worked that time, but I find every so often when I go to close it, oh, now it's working better. It didn't actually go into the groove and it would stay open a little bit. So be careful when you're closing this that you actually get a good seal there. And I'm telling you what I'm learning. I guarantee you there's better videos out there if you're looking for an actual tutorial. Let's move this over and make room for the poop chute. I am impressed with how easy that the support structure just fell away. I'm definitely gonna have to rework all of this later. That actually fits really well. Okay, that's using the space as efficiently as I can get it. Remember, when you've got the anti-vibration to lift, don't push. Otherwise you just mess the feet up. Now that I know where the final resting place of this is, I can get back some of my workbench. This was given to me a couple Christmases ago by a very, very, very kind viewer. I've used it, I just haven't had call to use it on video yet. It's a little bench power supply. Love that thing. Haha! That makes me happy. The next thing I'm going to do, and I want it to be part of the video, is learning how to make 3D objects. I have no clue how to do that. I've done a little bit of FreeCAD. You've seen it with like the cabinet design and the battery box design. Learn with me while I figure out how to design and replace my vents. which is what started all of this. And that'll be a great way to end this video. Okay, so it's been a few days, and oh lordy, have I been printing a lot. I made this is like the most impressive thing. This is a toolbox for all of the spare parts for the printer. See how well that hinge works? It printed like this. I just pulled it out and closed it, and it worked. And it even has a little like plastic springy thing to lock it. What else have I made? These really cute little earrings. I've got the studs coming. I'll show you them later. I printed, oh yeah. So I learned something. I printed a phone holder that has like this tilt adjustment thingy. The original screw, which was originally black, was printed tall-wise, and it broke when I was trying to put the nuts on. So I found a version of it that was printed laying flat as like two halves that you fold together. Worked a treat. So crane orientation matters. Oh, what else did I do? I have it off right now, but I got an STM32 case for this. My Magic Mouse has always tracked like shit. I printed a mouse pad, and it actually works. I know I printed other things. Oh yeah. So I need to still do the finishing varnish on the battery box. Remember how I had to put like nails through the board in order to have standoffs? I printed a whole bunch of painter's triangle thingy-majigs. I'm probably showing you the time lapses here. I flipping love this thing so much. I even had things like, I printed the base. The space for the phone holder was too high and I couldn't get the bottom of the screen, and there was a version with like lower profile, and it just all works. Anyways, the reason I brought you back now, let me start a screen record. It's so weird to be recording during the day. Usually I'm working during the day, and I'm supposed to be working right now, but I wanted to start a print, and I wanted to show you what I did first though. So I have been learning. FreeCAD is going to be something I'm going to be learning for a long time, so I didn't bother recording while I was figuring this out. But I did figure out how to do the little clips here that are supposed to grab into the side. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this whole started because I needed Dorade vents with screens. So this is going to be my first attempt at actually printing one. Now, the screen itself is a little bit less than 1 millimeter thick, so I have the actual body, and I'm certainly going to have to do this again. I'm doing it in Benchy. I'm doing this in PLA right now. Once I know it's good, I'll do a final version in ABS. And then I've also got, close that, the ring. So this ring should fit inside and have enough of a gap to let the screen fold up around it. Is this going to work? I have no idea. So what I did last night, and I didn't have the camera going for this, but I wanted to show you again, was, so what I did is I went to each one, click on the body, and I went File, Export. And the default file, what is it, 3MF, 3 Michael Foxtrot, it was importable by Bambu Lab Studio. So you can see I was playing with a couple different ways to print. I'm going to print just one for now. The project is no longer available. What? 4-inch Dorade? There it is. For now, I've just got the single layout with just one of the main rings and the main vent thingamajig, and then the ring that will capture the, words are failing me, capture the actual screen. So I want to do a print of this. I will go after work and buy some screen material, and I'll see how well it fits. I might have to tune some of these designs, but let's send this to the printer. Okay, so I changed to 2.2 millimeter extrusions, the strength profile. What does this actually mean? I don't know, but I don't know how much force I'm going to have to apply onto it while I'm trying to get the screen in. So even though this is just a test fit, I decided to make it stronger just to be sure that to increase the chance that it's not going to break. I might have made this ring too small and it's going to be too fragile. I don't know. I have no clue. So I'm going to slice the plate, and I am going to say print plate. Use the white, because that's the reason I got white. 32 grams and 1 hour. And time lapse is on, flow dynamic calibration, auto bed leveling, it's all on. I say go. There it goes, picks up the job. The first ever print of something I designed myself. I suppose I could be cheeky and say that the replacement vent cost me $2,200. But that's not really the case, because oh my lord, I have an endless stream of ideas of things I want to print on this thing. Okay, one other thing I'll show you I've been doing. While I'm working during the day, I usually have like a YouTube or Nebula video going over here. I'm doing my work over here, and I can just monitor the print progress. So far, I've had no issues with spaghettification. I haven't had anything go wildly bad on it. All the prints have worked pretty surprisingly well. It's been shockingly not an issue to just print things. For any of the people watching that work in IT, I hope you'll understand the magnitude of what I'm about to say. I like this printer. Hell has froze over. An IT person likes a printer. If that isn't an endorsement, I don't know what the hell it is. And reminder, I paid for this entirely with my own money. It is not sponsored or nothing. I'll bring you back when I'm ready to pop that out, probably after work. Ding! Dinner's ready. Let's see how this works. Oop. Well, sticking wasn't a problem. The ring fits. So while this was printing, I went to the hardware store, and got some screen. It's aluminum, and I chose it because it was a lighter color. I would like to have gotten white so that it matched, but I don't think that's a thing. This is way more than I need, but it was like 18 bucks, so you know. Now, I don't have any screens anywhere on the boat right now. All the ones that came with the boat were perished. So I wasn't too concerned about buying such a big roll, because if this works, I'll probably take the same approach to make other screens. So let's cut a very rough bit out. This is unwieldy, so I'm just going to cut it rough for now. Actually, May has been here for about a year now. I have to look at the exact date, but I got her in August last year. Or should I say, I became her staff a year ago. So my main concern is, I think I might have made this ring too small. So my thought was to take this and literally just jam it in. Okay, that is much stiffer than I expected. Okay, I'm gonna trim this closer and then put little nips in it and see if that helps. My adorable and curious little lady, little void. Ow. I am now getting aluminum shards in my finger. I suppose a fiberglass one would have been more flexible. No, that's not a whole lot of cuts, but let's see if that goes in any easier now. Okay, you know what? It's a little domed, which I didn't want, but for my first try, that's not as bad as I was worried. It's silver on white, so I don't really know how to show this, but it is domed a bit. I would like it laying flatter, and I think I'm gonna put a ring on the inside so that when this slides past it, it snaps into place and helps hold it in place. For my first try, I mean, I'm pretty damn happy. Literally the first model I ever did. It works. Does it work great? I don't know. Also, one of the things I did is they have these little divots that are supposed to help grab into the tube part of the Dorade. And I tried, I don't know if it's gonna come through because the lights are too bright, but according to the viewfinder, you can't see it, but there's a little lip there. I'm gonna make that larger. Okay, this is a fantastic start. We're not done, but the fact that that even went together, and I could put this in here. It won't last long, but it could go in. Oh, another thing I'm gonna do is, so along here, it's completely flat. I'm gonna recess the inside so the lip comes up a little bit so that when I press it in, if there's any natural deviation in the headliner, it'll help push in a bit better. Okay, I will be back after I do my next model and print. Miss May is observing. Aren't you, my dear? All right, so I got second version done. So what I did differently, I made this ring a 10 millimeters. I think this was 3 millimeters, so it's 3 times taller. Other than that, it's the same. I think it made it a little bit thicker. This was 2 millimeters thick. I think this one's 2.5. It matches the inside diameter here perfectly. And I've made this went from 23 millimeters to 25. No, 23 plus 20. It's almost 30 millimeters now. It's a fair bit taller. Probably taller than I need, but I figured it doesn't hurt to have more friction. I couldn't show you before, at least I don't think you could see the little divot there. It's so incredibly small. So this time you can see here, it is much more pronounced, it's longer, and it sticks out more underneath. I've also added a similar one on the inside to capture this ring. So when I push it down, it should hopefully click into place. Have I got it sticking out too far? Maybe, I'm not sure yet. This is version 2. Let's try printing it now, shall we? Same thing as before. I'm gonna do 0.2 millimeter strength. Everything else is the same. Slice plate, print plate. Everything is on. Let's send. This is gonna use 41 grams and take an hour and 15 minutes, so it's gonna be a bit longer. I'll be back in just a minute. It's done. Sorry, May. Did I try to make you a YouTube person? Well, you can't be a person, you're a kitty. Being a person is beneath you. So let's see how take 2 goes. I'm gonna cut another one of these later, but for now, let's just reuse the same one. And you can see how this is taller. If I sized it right, this should press in. Let me move this out of the way. It did go down below, but it's not sticking out enough to really hold it in. So I'm not sure if these are sticking out enough. The ones on the inside are not enough. I should have had them sticking out more. I'm debating whether I left too much space in the ring. I don't have my screen record going, but I think that I'm gonna make it bigger. But other than that, I think this is good enough to take to the boat and test fit. Because before I do a whole lot more work, I need to make sure that I'm at least in the right ball field. And while I was able to compare it against the original, I haven't actually tried fitting it. I don't know if I was too aggressive with this or not aggressive enough. So yeah, time to... Hello from the boat. That might have been an abrupt jump. And sorry if it was. I had actually recorded the outro for this video because I didn't think I was gonna be down on the boat anytime soon. But as you can see, I am. And so, while I'm here, let's see if this fits. So this is one of the holes. This is my first attempt. Okay, it fits and it holds. Now, part of it is this headliner is shot. I do plan to replace these. But, I mean, it would work. I don't like the gap up here. Okay, that was try 1. I should say, try 2, if you recall, is, you sort of see, this one is taller in the ring. So maybe it'll grab better. And also, these divots are more aggressive. Okay. That definitely looks a lot better. Now, this headliner, you know what, before I say anything else, let's test fit this on another one. That headliner is definitely messed up. This headliner isn't as deteriorated, not as much water came in. You know what? Ship it. You haven't seen this yet because, well, I've had a lot of projects going on the side, but I have got the headliner boards cut for the V-berth. I know you can barely see anything, it's like midnight. I couldn't find matching color fabric. So I asked the patrons and some design-minded friends, do you think I should go with a lighter white or go with something a bit more beige? And the consensus was, and I agree, go for a brighter white, help lighten up the interior. So, the difference in color right now between the bright white and this off-white, eggshell white, I don't know what you want to call it, it won't be as noticeable when this whole panel's been replaced with the new headliner that's going to be used in the V-berth. Now, these parts are fixed. I can't change them, and I don't want to paint them. Maybe I can bleach them. I don't know. That'll be something I have to figure out down the road. That level of cosmetics is for after I'm in the water. I mention that because I could have tried to find an off-white, like an off-white filament. I mean, nothing would stop me from printing both sets and then just having them as options, you know? But again, as a design, let me show you close up. Like, this is a bit of a dome to it. I need to flatten that out. But even still, like, that's 3D printed. Even the texture up here, like, you don't see with old 3D printers, you could see the lines a lot more clearly. I am really stoked. I am happy. With that shining success, now I feel a lot happier ending this video. I still have to print these in ABS. Like I said, I want to get the ring retainer divots, indents, whatever you want to call them, thicker so it actually holds it in better, blah, blah, blah. But for my first 3D print, damn. If I can be arrogant for a minute. It's so weird. I'm very rarely proud of myself, and I'm really proud of myself with these ones. I have so much more. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna do something off camera. There's another video I've been working on, is the whole new bilge pump system, which includes something I want to make rings for, and you'll see that in another video, but I need to clip a bit of that off to take with me so I can make rings. Oh, I have so many things to do with this printer. I know I blathered on a little bit at the beginning, trying to say thank you to my patrons, and I was really struggling with how to describe why I always feel really weird saying thank you to the patrons, because I don't want it to come across as, even now I'm still struggling. Like, I feel like if I'm saying thank you to the patrons, it's going to come across that I'm actually asking people to become patrons. And I mean, the community we've built, the little Patreon Discord that we've got going, it's a fantastic community. So I'm going to say thank you to the patrons. Thank you so much. I mean, to get this printer is just, I literally wouldn't have done it on my own. I would have been like, nope, there's other things I should buy. I will say that if you're enjoying the channel and you want to contribute, I would appreciate it tremendously, just like I appreciate everyone else. But more, I invite you to join our community. And I don't have differences for the different levels, because I know that, you know, for some people, $25 a month is nothing. To other people, $1 a month is a notable thing. And I don't want to striate what you get by how much you donate, because I don't know your situation. All I know is that if you're enjoying this enough that you're willing to actively contribute at whatever amount, you get my equal gratitude. I mean, obviously the people who donate more directly impact it. I get the money faster to buy silly things like this, but my gratitude is equal to all who support. Come join our community. It's very, very supportive, very nerdy. There's conversations I just sit back and read because I've got nothing to contribute, and I'm just watching folks going back and forth talking about like stuff that's so over my head, and it makes me stupidly happy that we have this little community. I appreciate it for so many different reasons. Okay, with that, I am going to whip my light around and say goodbye. I just broke a light. Bye! Let me give an update on my father. So I generally try to keep my family and personal life completely separate from the channel. This has always been about projects and nerdery. As of Christmas last year, I went up and saw him for Christmas, and I won't lie, when I saw him, he still had a long way to go. Recently, he's had a big health improvement, and he has been cleared to travel again. This time with health insurance. He has promised us all. I am genuinely shocked at how well he's recovered, especially just in the last few months. So, yeah, because so many people here supported us, I think it's okay to break that fourth wall between my personal life and the YouTube channel. My father's doing really good, and again, I will be forever indebted to everyone who contributed to the GoFundMe back then. I never thought I would ever start one, but saving my father's life seemed like a good one to do it for, and again, thank you for that.